Hey everybody, and welcome back to Just a Girl and Her Knitting. My name is Heather. You can find me on the internet. I will post it down below. I'm on Instagram, Ravelry. I have my email. I'm on Etsy. I have a sock cranking service where I crank sock tubes for people. I use my Erlbacher Gerhardt Speedster for that. I'm coming to you from Spokane Valley, Washington. It is Wednesday, March 18th. Sorry, my filming schedule is a little all out of sorts. Between the full-time job, the family, the baby, I get an opportunity when I can. I have my headphones in. Hopefully you won't hear the baby's sound machine. I'm hoping it will drown it out. But I guess let's go ahead and get started. My hair is driving me crazy. Not that you guys need to know that. I am hanging out in our basement. We've had a very busy week this week. We have been working on getting stuff gathered to repair from the flood. You can see behind me the drywall is missing, so all the way from this corner right here all the way to a few feet this way. We went and bought flooring because we have to replace the flooring in the bathroom and in this room. So this is what we've been working on this weekend, although on Saturday, March 14th, which was Pi Day, was the Cabin Fever Spin-In held down in Moscow at the Latah County Fairgrounds. We got to go. It was a lot of fun. It was nice seeing some new vendors. I got a few things. I know I said I wasn't gonna buy any yarn and stuff, but I'm really excited about what I bought and I really can't wait to show you guys. So let's just jump right on in. Again, my name's Heather. This is Just a Girl and Her Knitting. Thank you for coming back and hanging out with me for a few minutes. I don't know how long this is going to be. I have some finished objects, some works in progress, and a spin. And then I have some stuff I bought that I'm going to show you and talk to you about my plans with those items because I'm super excited about it. Well, I guess let's get started. We'll start talking about our finished objects. And the first 3 finished objects I have are gonna be dish scrubbies. So I got them. I got the pink ones finished. I was using Yarn Bee Scrubology yarn. From Hobby Lobby. This is really old deep stash. Hold on, my little buddy has gotten a hold of it. So Yarn Bee, and I did the bright pink colorway, which I have them finished. I need to weave in the ends, but basically it's the same recipe, I guess, that I knit my regular dishcloths on. Cast on 3 stitches, increase, cast on 3 stitches, knit a row, increase a stitch, knit across to your desired amount of stitches. I go to 21, and then you start decreasing till you get back to 3 stitches and then bind off. But here's 2, and here's the 3rd one, and I ran out of pink just at the tip. So I switched over to orange, which I have a whole ball of it. I'm using a US size 10.5, and these are my Chiaogu red lace. I think there's 24-inch needle, but those are done. I got 5 total. I'm curious to see how many I'll get this time around because I think the very first one I knit, I used a size 7, so it's quite a bit smaller and firmer, but there's 3 finished objects. I can stash them away now. They don't need to go back in my bag. It's housed in my Delicue snap bag that I got for Christmas with its little pocket. All right, so my next finished object, it's a pretty big one. I will insert photos somewhere here of me wearing it. I'm not wearing it right now, but I'm happy to report that my colder than yesterday sweater is finished, 100% finished. It's been blocked and washed. It has saddle shoulders. This was a test knit for Nori Knits. It is, the pattern has been released in the 52 weeks of sweaters that Lane magazine just released. But here it is. I don't insert photos of the yarn. I forgot to bring it down and I wasn't going back upstairs. The baby's sleeping, so I'm not about to make any extra noise. But I used Cascade Kid Seta. It's a mohair, mohair. Do I not have the tag? I thought I kept the tags out. I'll have to look. But it was the hot pink, and I'm using my phone to record, so I can't look it up. I can use my iPad. Please hold. I have fuzz in my mouth. So I really think I'm allergic to mohair. I really truly think that, because every time I use it, my nose itches and my eyes itch. And anyone out there have any information on how to fix my keyboard on my iPad? Please send help. Please. My little friend, the adorable little baby that lives in this house, played with my keyboard and she has it split. I don't know if I can show you. Okay, Cascade Yarns Kid Seta in hot pink. It's a 70% mohair, 30% silk. And then for the gray, I use Loops and Thread Wool-like in Blue Dawn. But let me see if I can. Do you see this? Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. I don't know why I'm searching Barnes & Noble. Do you see my keyboard? It is all split. I don't know how to get it back to normal. If anyone knows, help a girl out, because that gets frustrating. But anyways, so we'll go back and talk about this pattern. So again, this is the Colder Than Yesterday sweater by Nori Knits. I don't remember her name, but I will try and add it. It is knit bottom up. So you start with this rib. It's not a traditional rib. It's like a knit one, purl two, and then a knit two, purl one. But it's a very beautiful ribbing. I do like it. And then you knit to your desired, well, not desired. You knit to 13, I think 13.25 inches for the body. I did 14 1/4. I added an extra inch. And then you cast on and you do your sleeves and you increase to your sleeves. And then you join them. And if you remember last week, I said I had to rip out all of these decreases because I did them wrong. But it's kind of cool. You do rapid decreases, it's just decrease every round, and then you do rapid decreases on the shoulder, and then you do the saddles, and then you decrease again, and you do your neckband. But here it is. I knit the size 7. It's meant to have 10 inches of positive ease. I am a 46 to 48 inch bust, depending on the time of day and if the baby's nursed or not. But here it is. It fits really well. But boy, do I hate the mohair. So when I was knitting this, and I don't tend to knit patterns more than once unless it's like socks, muscle furrows, things like that. Sweaters I don't tend to do over and over unless it's one that really catches my attention. It's something that fits me well and I love, and this fits me well. I would knit another one. I would never use Cascade Kid Seta again, ever. It sheds so bad. So I wore this to Moscow on Saturday, and everywhere I went, I was leaving little pink fluff balls. So in the time we were talking, I pulled this much fluff off. I've blocked it, I've washed it, I have washed it again. I spun it out in my machine, and it is horrible. But yeah, everywhere we went, every single spot, there was pink fluff coming off of it. So that I would never do. The loops and thread wool 100% I would use that again. That was a very nice wool acrylic blend. I got it at Michael's. Super amazing. Love it. I have some left over. I think I'm going to use it as a joining yarn when I work on my granny square cardigan that's in my whips. But I'm literally just pulling more fluff off of this sweater, and I'm covered in it. I hate the mohair, and I don't know what to do about it because I'm really sad that it sheds. I don't want to sit somewhere and leave little particles all over the place. But I really like this sweater. I love the fit of this sweater. It fits amazing, and I will insert those photos. It makes me actually feel good wearing it. And there's not a lot of sweaters that I have that make me feel that way. So I need to figure out the solution to my shedding issue. But anyways, it is done. I'm so happy to say it is finished. I have never been so happy to get something off the needles. But here it is. Oh, I used a US size 6 for the ribbing, and then I had to go up to a US size 10 needle to get the gauge on the body. It was a relatively quick knit once I got going and I focused on it. I know some people in the test knit group had it finished in less than a week. It's super fast. I just, new shiny things. So, but this is finished. The colder than yesterday sweater, I think the needles that the designer knitted on were a US 7, a 6 and a 7. But she is done. Finished. Finito. I just got to work on my shedding issue because I have a huge pile now. All right, so those are my finished objects. I only have 3 dishcloths and a sweater. I put a lot of focus and attention on this to get it finished last week. Because when I showed you guys on Monday of last week, I still had quite a bit to go. I finished it on Thursday. So I showed you guys on Wednesday, I finished it on Thursday. Woven on the ends. So I guess let's move on to more fuzz. Telling you. I guess we'll just move on to our whips. So my first whip is in my Bella Q snap bag. And it's scrubology yarn from Hobby Lobby. I don't tend to shop at Hobby Lobby that much. I don't remember how I got all of this. But this is literally my last one. But this color, this one is scrubology yarn again. And the colorway orange. And just the humble beginnings of another dishcloth. A dish scrubby. So I think I'll be able to make 4 or 5 out of this one. And once I do that, it'll be done. I won't have any more of this. I do have Red Heart Scrubby yarn, which will be next on my needles. But using a US size 10.5 Chiaogu red lace needle for that. My next whip is in my naughty bag from Weird Sisters Wool Emporium. They are based out of Aberdeen, Washington. I have a inappropriate pin on it. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it. So it's cast off mother. Yep. But you can see. Oh, I guess here. Let's see if you can see it. That's what my pen says. But this is a fun little bucket bag. So it has a drawstring top. If you're wondering, the baby monitor is up on my iPad right down here. So I am using my Handspun yarn. This yarn right here. It's a 100% Rambouillet from Palouse Yarn Company in the colorway Lemon. And then it's plied with a 85% Polworth, 15% silk in the colorway Peachy Keen. The Peachy Keen, the Polworth is from Weird Sisters Wool. And I have started, and I'm right in the middle of a row. I guess let me see where I'm at and if I can't get back across really fast. We'll see how quickly I can do this. So I took this with us when we went down to Moscow, and this was my project I worked on while we were at the Cabin Fever spin-in, hanging out. My husband, my mother-in-law went, and my father-in-law went. We drove down on Friday night after I got off work, and we stayed down in Moscow. The weather was horrible. It was snowing here in Spokane Valley, and then it was snowing all the way down, and then it turned to rain, and then there was flash floods. So we had to contend with that. And then on our way to the spin-in, we were driving through town and going to the fairgrounds, and the roads were blocked off because it was flooding. And the bridge to get into the fairgrounds had water all the way up to it. But the party must go on, the show must go on, the spin-in must go on. So there's another way into the fairgrounds, so it's not that big of a deal. But anyways, I started my Handspun jaunty. This pattern is by Andrea Mallory. It is a half fisherman's rib. Can you see that? Fisherman's rib shawl. And what you do is you cast on here and you work until your yarn measures like 45% of your, till you use 45% of your yarn, and then you start decreasing. I don't think I'm going to use 45% of this because this is almost 200 grams because I spun up 4 ounces of each braid. So 4 and 4, so that was 8 ounces. So I think it's a little under 8 ounces, but pretty close. I have almost 1,000 yards on here. What was it? 927 yards. I was off by 100 yards when I manually counted, but I'm not using all of this. I'm probably only going to use 100 grams, so, but I haven't gotten far. But here it is. Here are the humble beginnings. It's really squishy and pretty. I'm really in love with it. I'm super excited. It was very slow going. I cast it on and redid it. I don't know, it took me probably 3 hours to get the hang of just the cast on and understanding. But once I got it, I have it memorized now. So I had knit all of this to here, to this marker, by marking each row. And then from this marker on, I just knit it without the pattern because I have it memorized. And it's pretty true to color. So we're working with our overhead lights, but I'll try to insert photos of it. But it's just so fun. I love it. And I'm using the recommended needle size. I'm using my Chiaogu red lace needles in a US 2 2.75 millimeter. So this is really fun. I am enjoying it so much. So that's whip. That's my new whip, my new cast on. My next whip, oh, so much fuzz, is sock tubes. So I showed you guys last week how I messed up and I needed to rip these out. Well, I went ahead and I undid them, reconed them up, and then recranked them at a looser tension. So here they are. I've put needles in and I started the ribbing. I'm just using Leadingman Fiber Arts Bare Necessities. This is their undyed 80-20 or 75-25, I'm not sure. And I'm using Chiaogu red lace needles in the US 1 2.25 needle. But what I did is I just picked up the stitches and then I just started a 2x2 rib. I'm going to do it for about 15 rounds and then bind off. And then I'll put in the toe on this end, and then I will count 100 rows and then put in the foot. These are going to be for my husband. You can't see the lycra because it's white, but it's got some stretch. And these were that sock blank that I had originally started knitting socks out of, and then I was like, nope. So I went ahead and I cranked the second one. So here it is with the waist yarn still on it. You can see where my tension got a little crazy. Whoop. You kind of see that. That I think there's a knot in the yarn. And I just knitted over it. I'll unpick it, but here's sock tube number 2. And then I have this one as well. This is a Yarnable colorway from January. I went ahead and I ripped out the socks that they were, and I just went ahead and cranked them. These are all cranked on the 72 stitch cylinder on my Erlbacher Gerhardt. These ones I will rip out 20 rows or 25 rows, and then I will ball it up and knit the ribbing. Then I'll split it in half, and then I'll rip back what I need for toes. And then I'm going to use this Gentry Gray, I think, for heels. And I might, if I have enough, use it for these socks too. But these are all cranked on my 72 stitch cylinder on my Erlbacher Gerhardt splitter. So these are just some, I managed to get this much. I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows in on my ribbing, but there's that. My next whip you guys seen from last week. I had just started it last week. Try not to knock anything over. So this one is a cowl. It's a test knit. So I told you last time I belong to yarnpond.com. It's free to join, and they post test knits, knit, crochet. I never looked to see if there's weaving, but this popped up, and it's something that I've wanted. I fell in love with. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. This is the Trestless cowl, Trestless cowl. It is by Suncat Designs. Stephanie Talent is the designer name. Do you guys ever use these? I don't want to show you, but they're magnetic pattern holders. So I used to use Knit Companion on my iPad, but with the baby, she sees the iPad and then she thinks it's tablet time, even though she's not allowed the tablet. But sometimes she'll watch Miss Rachel on the tablet when I'm working, if she's sitting in my lap, so she's not trying to type, because let me tell you, she gets all up in there. She is typing, she's making the screen big, the screen small. I mean, this child is stealing my mouse. Anyway, so I bought this. You can go like this, has a ruler and these magnets. I lost one in the back of the rental car. Sorry, whoever gets the car next, if they find my little heart magnet, it's down underneath. My husband looked everywhere for it, but can't find it. But so I've been able to use this. She still tries to go after this, but I don't remember what row I was on. Actually, I think I do. I hope I do. So I have some things to say about this pattern. I don't know why, but it's so difficult for me. So difficult. And this is being housed in my little bag. I don't know if it's because there's do this, parentheses, double parentheses, do this twice, do this twice, do this 3 times, square parentheses, go back and do this. I don't know if that's why I'm struggling with it so hard or what. It's a beautiful pattern, which while I think about it, I should probably show you my yarn I'm making. Sorry if you can hear all the wrestling. I'm really sorry about that. But so I'm having a really hard time following this pattern. Like I said, I don't know if it's the way it's written. I've tried to use the chart and I can't follow the chart either, because every row, I think maybe because every row has something you have to do. It's not just rest rows. It's the knit row, you have to do this, and this all the way across 100 stitches or however many stitches. And then the purl row, you have to do all of these things, but they're different. Or they're similar but offset by 3 stitches or something. So I'll be happy when this is done. I also have another problem with it, but let's talk about the yarn. I'm using Woolies, Lion Brand Woolies in the Blush Heather colorway. I have knit a million things out of this. It seems like I showed them all last week. I love this yarn. This is a fantastic yarn. I will buy so many more of these. I love this. My problem is, so when I saw you guys last week, I was here. Oh, right, here we go. So you start here and then you do, so this is chart A, this is chart B. I marked where I was, so I was here. Here's my little stitch marker. It's hard to see. This is chart C, right here. And this is chart D, which I'm almost finished with. I think I have like 6 rows to go, but it's so hard to see. Can you see it? Kind of? Not really? I'll see if I can't insert a photo. Do you see my problem? Same color, same dye lot. Not the same dye lot. I'm trying to find the best way to hold this. Yep. There is a distinct difference in color. Let me fold it in half this way. Oh, now you can see it really well. So that bottom chart is chart D. I knew that the dye lots were off. Like, they're the same dye lot, but I knew the colors were off because in my Vanessa Smith design, my cable sweater, the long sleeve one, I used the lighter color, this color, or this one, for the ribbing. I didn't have any more balls of the darker yarn, and I ran out literally at, you know, where you start the second chart. So now I have to deal with that. How do I deal with that? Do I just the mohair is flowing around and it's making my throat itchy. What do I do? Help me, guys. Do I, because I mean, I can order more, but the chances of me getting the same dye lot are so slim. I guess I could look on Ravelry and see if somebody has it. I don't really want to rip it out. I'm so close to being done. Do I finish it and then over dye it? Do I just deal with it? Like, is it a, you know, kind of a design element? I don't know. Stephen West has a thing for it. Is it a Bob Ross happy little accident? I don't know. I don't know what to do. I still also don't know how it goes together. And I might be off. I got a gauge. Another little, you know, I never gauge swatch. And I gauge swatched for this and I got gauge, but I feel like this is way bigger than it's supposed to be. Because it's fairly long. And I still don't know how it goes together. Like, I know you seam up a spot, but I'm not sure where or how or what we do. Maybe it goes like this. That would make sense. Maybe it goes like this and you wear it like this. So then that means that, I mean, does that look horrible, guys? Does that look absolutely horrendous? Or will you notice it? Like, I can't put it on. Like, I don't know what to do. Help me out, guys. Tell me what to do. Do I just finish it, block it, seam it, and then hang out? It's an 80% acrylic. Let me see. What is it? %80 acrylic, 20% wool. So that means I would have to use like a fabric dye, like a tulip dye or Dylan dye or something like that. Is that what the names are? Something that's a little more stronger than, I don't know, can you dye acrylic with acid dyes? I do have acid dyes. But what color do I dye it? that it would blend it. I don't know, drop some, oh, the mohair. I hate mohair. I love the effect, hate the item. The actual mohair nonsense. I hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it. Anyways, so tell me what to do. Because here I am with distinct differences. I even like did a few rows of alternating, but because there's so many knits and purls in this, it made it look bad, so I ripped it out. Anyways, so this is the Trestless cowl. It's gorgeous. It's gonna be gorgeous. I just don't know what to do with my dye lot situation. Or not my dye lot situation, with my color situation. Same dye lots. And these are knit on my Chiago 7 US size 7 4.45 millimeter bamboo needles. These are the ones I usually knit dishcloths with. So that is my situation currently with this. I'm gonna finish it, but I don't know what to do after I finish it. And it seems, I don't know, like this part seems denser than this part does. This seems a lot lighter, almost like the yarn is thinner, but just barely. So anyways, that's a situation that we're currently in. My next project is a new cast on. My name is Heather and I can't help myself when there's a test knit. We're just gonna start right there with that, because there's a test knit, and I should talk about maybe why I do test knits as much as I do someday. Well, anyways, so while we were in Moscow, I knew I got accepted for this test knit. It's for a tea. It's called the, I'm sorry for all the wrestling. Duotone V tea. And we're allowed to share it. It's from Rachel Costello Knitwear. I will put in information. She put out a testing call on Instagram. I saw it. I applied for it. I actually went back and forth like, do I do it not? Do I do it not? Do I? I did. There's only 2 sizes available left. It was size 9 and size 10. Size 9 is what I'm knitting, and that's gonna end with a sorry guys, 69.5 inch around your bust. And like I said before, I'm about a 46, 48, 50, depends on the day. So in theory, I should have about 19 inches of positive ease. The sweater talks, or the shirt in it says like 10 plus inches of positive ease. It's supposed to be a loose fitting, flowy garment. So it calls for 2 lace weights held together. You can use 2 mohairs, 2 alpaca baby suri ones. I don't know what they call those. You can use fingering. If you don't want to hold the suris together, you can hold 2 merino lace weights together. Whatever you want to do, you could hold 2 together to get like a marled effect, and it has this really cool I-cord detail down the front and back. But while we were down in Moscow, I specifically went looking for some yarn. I could not find a merino lace weight and a like suri mohair lace weight, so I went with a fingering weight and I just adjusted my gauge. I got gauge. I had to go down to a size 6 needle. It's knit on a size 7, so I didn't have to drop down that much. But I'm using Two Springs Fiber Arts. I've bought yarn from them one other time and I haven't used it before, but this is my color combo. So this is a 75% baby Surrey, 25% Surrey alpaca, and 25% lace. And this is a 75% merino, 25% recycled nylon. This colorway is Bliss and the one on top is Moon. And I've gotten it started. And I'll show you guys. This is what it looks like so far. So this is my faux I-cord. Because I'm using similar colors, the I-cord doesn't stand out as much. But there it is. But this is what I have so far. It's curling up. This is the back, so you cast on for the back. And then mine won't be as like see-through, but I think it will be a really good transition top for me to go from like, so our winter to spring is very much, it'll be really cold in the morning, hot during the day, cold at night. And then our fall is the same way. It'll be really cold in the morning, really nice during the day, cold at night. I think it'll be a top that I can get a lot of wear out of in spring and in fall without having to put something on it. Plus, for some reason, since having the baby, I don't get as cold as I used to. Like all winter, the most I've worn is long sleeves or a hoodie, like the one I'm wearing. So I haven't worn a jacket in, plus working from home, I don't go outside much, but I haven't worn an actual jacket in years. But anyways, so this is where I am. I have a lot of back and forth knitting to do, a lot of stockinette before I start the fronts. But yeah, it's really nice so far. It reminds me of my other test knit I did. I don't remember the name of it, but I can insert a photo. The colors are really similar. I used Madeline Tosh. I think it was like sea glass or something from my, I bought the green and it stained everything, and so they sent me a sweater's quantity and I ended up knitting it. But yeah, I don't know if it's gonna look good on me, but here it is. And then my faux I-cord going down the back. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know. And then, like I said before, I'm using a US size 6 Chiaogu 4.4 millimeter knitting needle. So, and looking around me, that's all of my finished objects, my whips. Let's talk about spinning really fast. More mohair fuzz. So I'm seeing how this Surrey works for me. Because of my mohair issue, I did not want another mohair. I hate it. So hopefully Surrey is going to be a good substitution. Honestly, I don't know how much it cost. I just bought it. I bought four skeins of each. So if I have some left over, I don't know what I'll do with it, but I'll make something. Or I could probably get more. The dye-lots wouldn't match, so I'd have to alternate, but she is local to me. She is from Spokane. She is a local yarn dyer to me. Two Springs Fiber Arts. She lives in Spokane. Her yarns are at Hook and Needle Nook, Applewood Yarn Barn, and Twisted Yarns, the newest yarn store in Spokane. It's up on the South Hill. So my finished thins, I have this finished. So I will insert a photo of the 3 plies. So this is my yarn, or my fiber from my Fiber of the Month Club that we don't talk about anymore because we don't go to that store. And it was 3 different colors that I spun up and then applied together. And this is what I got. It's about a DK weight, but here it is. It's got reds and purples and yellows, all different colors. I know it's kind of hard to see. I feel like when I'm upstairs, I have better lighting because I have all the natural light. But here it is. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I have about 300 yards. So says my not so good counting. But when I put it up on, when I go to cake it, I'll use my yardage counter and go from there. But it kind of reminds me of a circus tent. But it turned out okay. This is my first 3-ply. I don't know if I like 3-ply, but this is my first. Like I said, I'll insert the photo of when I was plying it so you guys can see it. So, because we talked about my finished spin, sorry, trying not to be loud, I do have another spin on my electric eel wheel. It's not very far. This is also from Two Springs Fiber Arts. The colorway is Stardust, and it's an 80% superwash Shaniko wool, 20% Setalina. And it is sparkly. So here's the, and here's what one of my little fiber bumps look like. Do you see that sparkle? Like it glitters. All that glitters is gold, right? So what I did was I took and I split my braid in half, and then I just continued to split it evenly. And I'm spinning, so like I'll spin from this color to whatever's in here, this pink color, and then the next one I will start here and then spin it all the way back. So I don't know what you call it. We call it chaos spinning in my world. And here's all my little fiber nests. You can't see the sparkle, but oh, it's so pretty. And here it is on my wheel. So I haven't gotten very far, but you guys, it is spinning up fine, like fine. Let's see. Oh, but I am enjoying it. It is fun. I am going to spin it all, and then I'm going to chain ply it. So we'll get a 3-ply out of it to try to keep the color runs together. So I got this down in Moscow as well. She just started spinning. She's only done one spinning class with a friend, the lady who got me started in the spinning group. We met a few years ago down in Moscow. I was wearing my Stephen West shawl. It was was it Twisted Turns? The one with the crocheted loops, the braid going up. I think so. But mine was done in a, I'll be right back. So, I think it's Twisted Turns. This shawl. Do you remember this shawl, you guys? So this was an M cowl from a few years ago. I knit this on the way to Vegas. Clue 1, I knit this part. We were going to Vegas for our anniversary. yeah, for our anniversary. My in-laws happened to be going to see my mother-in-law's brother or something along those lines. I don't remember exactly, but they were meeting us in Vegas. And we drove from Spokane. We took a car down because it needed to go one way, and so they just let us take it. I mean, it's part of my husband's salary, but it was a fun car. It was a sports car. We drove down, and we stayed in Vegas for the week. And I remember knitting this the whole way to Vegas. And I think I finished it like 3 days into being there. It was a nightmare. There's so many back and forths, but it was fun. I learned a lot. These braids are cool. I don't know that I'd do that again. That was a lot of cable cast-ons. But anyways, and I didn't do as long of a border. I was over it. But anyways, I was wearing this when we went to the Cabin Fever Spinning, and these colors happen to be the local college, University of Idaho colors. They're gray, white, and gold. And so I got stopped, and she was like, hey, I'm knitting that shawl. Come sit with us, come talk, come visit. And so I got introduced to all the ladies, and come to find out, the whole group is from Spokane, or Spokane Valley. She lives up the street from me, and one of the other ladies in the spinning group, her daughter and my son graduated high school together. Small world. It took me going to Moscow to find this out. So, needless to say, she taught the dyer of this yarn how to spin, and we were talking about that, and I was like, oh, she knows everybody. But it's just a fun small world, because now I know somebody else local who knows my person. I'm going to claim her, who found me because I was wearing this in Moscow at the Cabin Fever Spinning. Knitting is a funny little way of connecting people, doesn't it? But she teaches spinning and all these things. The lady who we both know, she and her husband used to own a local fiber mill here in Post Falls, super close, and they recently retired, so they don't have it anymore. But her company was the one who processed a lot of the fiber for a lot of the shepherdesses in the local area. But anyways, the dyer, I don't remember her name, I think it's Kristen, I'll double check. She was telling me how she learned how to spin from the mutual friend, and I'm like, oh, she's great. She is great. So anyways, those are all my spins. Those are all my whips. That's a there's a random thing. Let's talk about my purchases. We don't talk about this very often. Purchase one was this fiber. I fell in love with it. I was reading that you can use Shaniko for socks, super washed. You can use it pretty much anything for socks if you want to. So I was reading, and it was something that it was actually an okay item. So we'll see if I spin it. I'm spinning it to assume I'm going to knit socks. We will see what happens, but we're spinning it fine. My next purchase was obviously these yarns. I bought 4 of them for my test knit. I really like this yarn dyer. She's really awesome. I was really happy to be able to support a local yarn dyer. Took me going to Moscow to do it, but hey, you know what? That's okay. I actually have some of her yarn in the bedroom. My next purchase was from Packa's West. I got 2 of these little nuggets here. It's Oreo is the name of the alpaca. It's a 3 ounces of 100% HUA CCYA alpaca. I'm not sure which that one is, but it's this gray blend. I got 2 of them because I need more. I don't need more. I wanted more to do to match the yarn I spun up for my mother-in-law to make something. It was the red bamboo and the gray. This is the same shepherdess alpaca owner, but this is her fiber. So I got some more of that to spin. I think that's going on my wheel next. I bought 3 naughty fleeces. There's a shepherdess who has some some lambs that she shears, and they are usually super dirty fleeces. So she sells them for $5, $1.50. Like, they don't weigh a lot, but they're really dirty. And I always get 3 of them for the nieces and for the niece and the cousin, because that's what they clean when we're out at the lake. They like the dirtier the better. So I got 3 of those. It cost me all of $10. And then the next thing I purchased, I bought 3 of these. It's from Wandering Pines Ranch. Here is their tag. It's Desert Blooms as a colorway, Northwest Wool Blend, 6 ounces. But it's this purple, black, gray, tan, pink, blue, green, beautiful 6 ounce braid of fiber. And I bought 3. My thought is I am going to spin it for a sweater. This will be my very first sweater spin. We'll call it that. I've never said I was spinning it for a sweater. I was spinning it to spin it. Because I have some Shetland on my big wheel that I've been working on for a while. But isn't this just glorious? So I'm thinking I'm gonna spin them. I don't know, I need to do some research. But I have 3. So she said that should be enough for a sweater if you do a 2-ply. I guess we'll see. And if I'm concerned, I do have 18 ounces of a white Shetland upstairs that I think I could ply it with. So I could just spin all this and then ply it with white, maybe. But I have 3 of these, all the same. So that's gonna be an undertaking. So I think that's all the things I bought. My last thing that I got that I'm super excited about, I've wanted one forever. Every time we go to fiber festivals, I look to see if anyone has them and they're selling them. We were sitting there hanging out, and these knitters came and sat near us, and I happened to be like, hey, I really like your basket. Like, I've wanted one for so long. It's gorgeous. She's like, the co-op has them. You mean the one across the street from the Yarn Underground? Yeah, the co-op. I'm like, we have to drive past the co-op on the way out of town, because that's how you get out of town. And so I was like, well, I guess I know where we're stopping. Well, my mother-in-law, being my mother-in-law, was like, if I had a car, I would go to the co-op right now. So I was like, well, I mean, we can leave now. And they're like, no, we'll stay. My husband's like, well, are you hungry? And I'm like, of course I'm hungry. I'm always hungry. Well, let's go get lunch. So he goes with his mom. They go to the co-op and they go get lunch for us. because we take my husband's company car. Only he could drive it or I can drive it. But so they go to the co-op and they come back with this basket. I have this jumbo basket. I have wanted one of these for so long. This is an African market basket. It's a fair trade basket. Every basket is hand woven in a village co-ops in Guyana, West Africa. Your basket purchase helps provide healthcare and school supplies in support of weavers, their families, and their villages. So here's the tag. Each basket is a one-of-a-kind treasure promoting culture and sustainable living, providing hope to entire villages. You can also get it wet and reshape it if you need to. But my mother-in-law bought it for me. It's huge. It's holding 8 skeins of yarn in my project. And it doesn't even make a dent. I am so in love with this thing. It is going to go with me everywhere I go. My basket. But like I said, everybody at the spinning things, they always have these baskets. I always see people with them, and I really always wanted one, and I never knew. It was at the co-op in Moscow. We go to Moscow every year. I just needed that one lady, that one young lady who happened to be sitting right next to us, telling me all about it. But I'm so excited. I'm so excited for it. So, anyways, those are my whips. Those are my purchases. I probably will not show purchases again on here. I don't typically like when people do that. Two of them are something that I'm working on, and one of them I'm really excited about. It's going to be an undertaking, but I'm really excited for the sweater spin. I think I should find a sweater that I want to knit, or do I just spin and ply and then figure out because I tend to spin fine. I don't know, I guess once I start spinning this Wandering Pines fiber up, I guess I'll know what size it's gonna be. But anyways, I think I have a lot of whips. I did get one of my whips from my whip video finished. I need to pick another one out to work on. I don't know which one to work on though. What I need to work on is something that's not super involved, that requires a lot of thinking. I guess I have my habitation throw I could work on. Nope, my anthology throw. Or I could work on my granny square cardigan, because that's just crocheting granny squares from leftover yarn. I could work on my big granny square blanket. I have my 2 Stephen West shawls, but those require thinking. Sorry guys, it's 9:20 here. I have Stephen West socks. I bet I could work on my Stephen West socks. I don't know. I'll think about it this weekend. See what I'm going to pull out. Hopefully I'll have that cowl finished, and I'll have some progress on my new cast on sweater. Maybe my jaunty will be my car project for when we're driving. I guess my sweater could be that. I don't really like carrying that much yarn around with me though. I don't know, I'll think about it. Well, anyways, guys, I thank you. I appreciate you all for hanging out with me. It's a longer video this week. I had a lot more to talk about. Give me your opinions on my cowl that is 2 different colors. Yeah, need thoughts on that. But I guess, thank you guys. I appreciate you all. Until next time, have fun with your knitting, your crocheting, whatever you are working on. And I will see you next time. Bye. And thank you for watching. I know I said thank you for watching. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing if you do, telling friends, telling people about it. I do this because I enjoy knitting and crafting and creating, and I just want to show what I'm working on as well. I know a lot of people, that's what the purpose, I know some people do it as a job, but I like to show what I'm working on. It's not always the same as everybody else except for my jaunty, clearly, but I also like to watch other people because I get inspiration from you guys when I watch your videos or follow you on Instagram for things that I may not have ever thought to knit or, you know, learn, or yarns. Even though I'm not buying a lot, like I still can look and be like, hey guys, if you need to buy me a present, X, Y, and Z, I would like something from there. So I like to, you know, share things that I have. I like when people share what they have. I like to, you know, test knit, so there's that. But anyways, I'm just rambling now. I will talk to you guys later. I hope you have a great week, a great weekend. I hope you guys have fun with your knitting, your crafting, and just your everyday, everything. Just have a great day. All right, bye. All right guys, bye.